There are certain topics in today's society that will be debated and discussed no matter the outcome. Something that has been a big topic of debate for quite some time is whether or not college athletes, specifically football players, should be paid for their time on and off the field. By the end of my speech, my audience will have a clear understanding of why college athletes should not be paid on top of the benefits that they are receiving from the university. I hope to persuade and show my audience as to why paying college football players is wrong. I will be covering many points in this speech, but they will be grouped into three main sections. My first is a breakdown of scholarships and explain the payment of college athletes. My second main point of arguing against the ESPN article written by Skip Bayless supporting full payment of athletes. My third and final point will cover a monumental lawsuit from former Nebraska quarterback Sam Keller against EA Sports. Did you know that there are no partial scholarships in college football? Each Division I team is allowed 85 scholarships on their roster, and all scholarships are full rides. This mainly covers tuition, room and board, and the cost of books. However, in many Division I programs, these benefits are only the start. Food is completely free for the athletes as they have full access to high-end dining halls. They are assigned nutritionists and their meals come without any cost to them. They gain tons of free clothing and accessories such as backpacks, iPads, and more. They also have full access to academic help from tutors that the university hires specifically for student athletes. Let me ask you, why should we care? One of the main arguments for paying college athletes is that these students do not have time to get a job because they spend so much time on the field practicing and conditioning on top of their schoolwork. I'm a college student and I have a job. Most of my expenses go to all the things that I just explained. That the student athletes get little to no cost. I have to pay for my own food, rent, clothing, schooling, and more. Everybody knows that college is very expensive, and everybody knows that college students struggle financially. The absolute biggest cost of college is paying for school itself. Whether you are there to simply get your degree, or if you are a student athlete, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are all going after a degree. That is the entire point of attending college. For my first point in visual aid, it's going to be the average published undergraduate charges by sector 2014-2015. The official website of College Board found that the average tuition at a public four-year university is $9,139 for in-state and $22,958 for out-of-state for the 2014-2015 academic year. The average cost for room and board is $9,804. I decided to show a chart from the website of the College Board breaking down the cost of college. This chart breaks college down into four sections: public 2-year in-district, public 4-year in-state, public 4-year out-of-state, and private non-profit 4-year. The point of using this chart is to show how expensive college truly is. The scary thing about it is the cost of college is going up year by year. People are arguing that college football players get paid money on top of the tens of thousands of dollars that they are receiving annually to attend the school. That is their payment. The purpose of an athletic scholarship is to offer full financial aid to a student athlete to attend a university for their talents. So with all the money they're receiving to go to school, why is it that they should get paid additional money on top of everything else they are receiving? The second site, in August of 2014, Time magazine released an article announcing a big decision as the NCAA voted for 65 teams from the main 5 college conferences to allow teams to offer what is called full cost of attendance to the players. The conferences being the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the Pac-12, and the SEC. This already includes their scholarship money. The student athletes are now entitled to cash stipends ranging from $2,000 to $5,000 depending on the school. This is to cover their food, clothing, and additional spending money for the players. To understand this topic as a whole, it is necessary to play the devil's advocate and look on the other side of the argument. There are many people that support payment of college athletes. Famous sport analysts and host of The First Take, Skip Bayless, fully believes that college athletes should get paid. Bayless explains in his article from ESPN 2014 that he has stood behind the topic for 30 years. He says, "If university boosters want to bid for the nation's best players, let them." Yes, college football as an entity brings in an incredible amount of money. A total of $16 billion to televise college football is what TV networks pay. Many people believe that players should receive payment because they are the ones bringing in all this money for the college. But these student athletes are receiving tuition, room and board, books, food, and anything at all they need for college. Later in this article, Bayless states, boosters should be allowed to entice recruits with whatever they want to offer, such as cars, signing bonuses, annual salaries, and annuities. If we allowed what Bayless is proposing, college football would be heavily saturated between the big powerhouse schools. Alabama and Ohio State and similar schools with a lot of money would pull in more players, leaving smaller market schools without the talent. Football is a game. The end goal is to play professionally and get paid. College football players should play the game because they love it, not because certain colleges are tossing material objects at them. Second visual aid is going to cover Sam Keller versus EA Sports lawsuit. In 2009, Sam Keller, former quarterback for Arizona State and Nebraska, filed a lawsuit against EA Sports, short for Electronic Arts. Keller claimed that EA Sports used player likeness without permission. His lawsuit was against EA's NCAA football video game. Specifically, the 2005 edition of the game when the unnamed player on the Arizona State Sun Devils had the exact same height, weight, style of play, being a pocket passer, skin and hair color, year of schooling, and more. The edition of the game 1 year before his lawsuit, in 2008, had the exact same matching characteristics. However, his jersey number was different. The reason for suing is that the NCAA is making money off of each copy. The unpaid college football players that are being directly portrayed as their real-life counterparts. Sam Keller kickstarted a new widely discussed topic of the payment of college football players. As a result of the lawsuit, according to an article published by CBS Sports 2013, the series of NCAA football video games did not renew their contract, as they lost the lawsuit. They had claimed that they were protected under the First Amendment to publish the game. EA Sports lost, and the NCAA reached a $20 million settlement. As you can see, this famous lawsuit came about because players weren't getting paid for appearing in a video game. Whatever happened to school pride? Whatever happened to the love of the game? Why do we need to break every little thing down to money? These 18-year-old kids are fresh out of high school, opening a brand new chapter in their life. There is a line that needs to be drawn between professional athletes and college athletes.